I'm your host, India Sweet, but of course you already knew that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is official. Spring is here. The weather is breaking. We can shed those coats and go outside. Don't get me wrong. I love winter. I love all four seasons, but I was kind of over it this year, and I need to get back there on my riding mower and mow a lawn or go hiking at Great Falls in Virginia. I need to get out the house. And you know how I know that it's officially spring and it's here? Not because the flowers are blooming and the trees are starting to get green again. Nope, nope. I woke up this morning, slept really good last night. My husband had baby duty, and I wanted to wake up naturally on my own. But no, I hear this noise, and I'm like, what is this noise? So I hit my husband. I'm like, stop snoring, because he snores really bad. And then he hits me. He's like, you stop snoring. I'm like, that's not me. And then we hear the noise again. I said, okay, so what is going on? So I go open the door. I look out in the house. I hear it again. Then it sounds like it's coming from behind me in the room. And I'm like, man, are you playing some games? And then I walk in the room, and then it sounds like it's out there. I'm like, what the heck? So I open up the window, and ladies and gentlemen, he's back. The woodpecker from hell. That's how I know spring has officially sprung. It's like he hibernates in one of those trees out there, and as soon as the weather breaks, he is out full force at like 6:45 in the morning, just pecking his little head away. Listen to this. And that's on low audio from my phone. So imagine that just over and over. Now, I love Woody Woodpecker growing up. You know, he had the red hair. He was bad. He did a that was really bad. Scratch that from the record. But you know what I'm trying to say. I loved him, but I don't want that fool living in my backyard. So anyway, I've never wanted to take a slingshot to a bird before, but if I see him, it might be on. Okay, so as it's getting hotter outside, the clothes will get smaller. So we are continuing to eat well. Now, it's not gonna be this well every week, but this week we are eating good stuff. We are doing a Greek salad over tostada, and then we have an artichoke in a de beurre blanc sauce that we are going to dip it in. Now, a lot of people get turned off by the whole artichoke because it looks intimidating. Trust me, and I will just take all of the mystery out of it for you, and you're really gonna like that recipe. It's a busy food, and that's why I like it. Okay, so we're gonna start off with our Greek salad here, and I have one English house cucumber. I like English house better than the regular cucumber, just because, I don't know, sometimes regular cucumbers can be too soft. I like them in my pickles, not necessarily in my salad, and English house is a little bit more firm. So we'll cut up one of those. I wonder how everybody's bracket is doing. I will say mine for the first 2 weekends, I was kicking butt and taking names, because I don't know if you've been paying attention to these games, but they have been some of the greatest ever. I am talking about good stuff. And we see that Kentucky, you know, depending on when you're watching this, they're going to the Final Four with Wisconsin, Michigan State, who I had to edit out of last week's episode because I went way too long. And then we're going to cut these in half. But I was saying never go against Tom Izzo. Put him in our bowl. In March, the best there is to do it. But anyway, long story short, I was kicking butt in my league, and then doggone Michigan State and Duke messed me up. So now I'm only leading by 10 points, and I have Wisconsin winning. And if they don't win against Kentucky, my dreams are dashed. And the one thing about me, I don't like to lose, ladies and gentlemen. I don't like to lose. I have been known, somebody told me once before that I ran a little kid off and made him cry because I was hollering at him doing a little relay race. But you know what? Trust me, I seen that kid grow up, and he needed a little bit more tough love than what I gave him that day. But anyway, I don't like losing. Okay, red onion. We're going to slice up half of it. Get in there good. You want not too thick of a slice, but not too thin. And then after we get that, we're going to chop them up into 4s. So anyway, I'm the only girl in my league, and, you know, I don't want to win. I like kicking the boys' butt. So come on, Franks Comiskey. Come on, Wisconsin. We can really do this if we need to get done. I mean, Kentucky, they're vulnerable. They are vulnerable. Okay, and then I have 2 Roma tomatoes here, and we're going to slice those up and toss those in too. Okay, after you slice, we're going to slit these into 4. Okay, now that we have these all sliced up and put them in our bowl, we're gonna toss them just a little bit. And we're gonna put a little bit of salt on them. Some salt and pepper here. Thanks to Geico for showing my son who salt and pepper are. I mean, it's the funniest little thing. He's like, ooh, baby, 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 baby. Okay, so we're gonna coat this and then we are going to make our Greek dressing that's gonna go on top of it. Okay, guys, next up, we are going to do our Greek salad dressing to put over our salad as we stay in our healthy mode. Speaking of which, I was watching Today Show a few weeks ago, and they have now classified eating well and watching what you put into your mouth a mental illness. It's called orthorexia nervosa. That has got to be the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Seriously, if eating well makes me crazy, you can go ahead and call me crazy, because it wouldn't be the first time. Anyway, starting off with our dressing, you have to make sure you layer these things properly. I have 1/4 of a cup here of red wine vinegar. I have 2 teaspoons of fresh oregano. I like fresh oregano, but you can use dried. If you use dried, you always need half. When you go drier, you need half. When you go fresher, you need double. Okay, so 2 teaspoons of fresh oregano and 2 teaspoons of dried basil. 1 teaspoon of sugar. 2 cloves of garlic. Chop that in here. But like I said before, Final Four is coming up. Depending on when you're watching it, it could have already passed. I'm rooting for Wisconsin because I can't lose people. I'm sorry, that's why I don't watch Redskins games out, because when they lose, you know, I'm always ready to like fight. You notice how I said when and not if they lose. That's the life of a Redskins fan. I'm just saying. Okay. Our garlic. Then we're going to do the juice of a half of a lemon or 1.5 tablespoons. And leading into football, talking about the Redskins, I don't know if you've seen the Tom Brady video where he jumped off the cliff and into the water. Make sure you get all your seeds out before, because I just dropped like 2 seeds in here. That is the one thing about using fresh lemon. Oh, okay, yeah, Tom Brady jumped off the cliff and everybody's having a conniption fit. Oh my God, how could he do that? How could he put himself at risk like that? Oh my gosh. First of all, people, fans, I love you guys, but you know what? These are not slaves, and I'm not trying to compare this whole thing to slavery, because there is no comparison, because these guys make millions of dollars. But it goes to a thing of a mentality of I own you, so no matter what you're doing on or off the field, you have to run it by me first. No, this man is living a rock star life. He is giving the Patriots 4 championships. If he never plays another down in the NFL, he's still going down as one, if not the greatest quarterback of all times. That's all I'm saying. Okay, we're going to do a teaspoon here of Dijon mustard. And what that is going to do, when you really pretty much do any salad dressing, you're going to have either an egg or mustard in there, because they're emulsifiers, which means it helps your vinegar blend to your oil, which normally oil and water, you know, don't mix, but it just helps get that immersion going of emulsification. You learned a little something today, didn't you? Okay, so we're going to go on here and pulse it a few times. Okay, do a pinch of salt, pinch of pepper. So salt and pepper's here. Salt, salt, salt. Okay. And pulse it one more time. Now you're going to get your good olive oil here. Your good olive oil, and you're going to add in half of a cup. Now, here's the thing. You don't have to use your blender or what you call this thing, your food processor with it. You can do it with a whisk, but you have to whisk briskly while you're pouring in your olive oil, whether it be out of your bottle or your cup, to make sure it emulsifies. So you got to go fast. So that's why it's just easier to do it like this. A half of a cup. And you just want to pulse it ever so lightly and drip it in, pour it in slowly, not all at one time, slow and steady. It's the pace. Slow and steady wins the race. Let's see what we got here. That is so good. Oh, that is so good. Now, at the very end, I'm going to put in about a little less than 1/4 of a cup of feta cheese and help it get nice and creamy. And you don't want to blend this too much because you don't want your cheese to finally go. You just want to do a punch out. See. That is perfect. Okay. Now, I'm going to take this out of here. A little bit of a mess here, but it's all right. And we are going to pour it over our salad. Now, you're not going to want to use all of your dressing, so just pay attention to how much you are putting on there. Give it a nice little coat. All right, and we are going to cover this, put this in the refrigerator. Next, we're going to work on our tostadas. Okay, so now for our tostadas. Really simple, really easy. I have a pan of olive oil here, about 1/2 inch of classic tortilla, and we're just going to plop them in and let them fry. Make sure your oil is hot enough. That's the only thing I will say, because if it's not, then your tortilla will absorb oil and it will kind of be soggy. Always have your stuff up high enough so the water gets pushed out. That's why people get soggy French fries. Wait till your oil is hot enough, people. And the more this fries, it's going to puff up, and that's what you want. So if it puffs, don't get scared. Okay, when you see your edges start to brown, lift it up, check the bottom. Yeah, and we can flip it. Ooh, all right, perfect, nice and puffy. And as soon as you take them out, we're going to puff them right on down. So it's a nice little area to put our Greek salad in. Okay, next up, we are going to work on our artichokes. Hey guys, okay, next up we are going to do our artichokes. Now I know you've seen this when you walk into your grocery store, and they look quite intimidating because you don't really know what to do with them or even how to eat them. I'm going to show you a great, easy way to prep them. And it's a great, healthy, busy food. I love to snack, and this is one of those healthy snacks that you can just chew on for a while and you don't have to feel guilty about it. So our first artichoke here, I have the bottom cut off, and I have our leaves cut, so I'll do that to this one. All you need is, you know, a good pair of kitchen shears or, you know, shears from any place. Take my top off there. Get your water boiling. Okay, so now you're going to want to cut your leaves. And so this past week, I did a mammogram for the first time. Now, I'm fairly young for a mammogram, but we had the whole talk last week about how my boobs went up after I had babies and they went back down. Well, I'm sorry, Charlie. These got to get reduced because my back just can't take it anymore. It's a real issue. And I was like, I'm not going to talk about it at first. And I'm like, well, why not? It's all about breast health. So I went in for my first mammogram, and though I know I didn't have any problems because I do my self-check, you still get nervous about the whole thing. And let me tell you, ladies, don't be. You know, take your health in your hands. If you have a history of breast cancer in your family, especially on your maternal, your mother's side, go get screened or ask your doctor which age should you start. And I went in there, and it was not bad at all. It lasted maybe 3-4 minutes. She took 4 pictures. The funny part was, you know, you have to go in there with the boobs because they take a picture of it and they squeeze it a little bit. But you know what? After you have babies, it's not a big deal. But when the woman took it out and she like slapped it up on the thing and take a picture like a hamburger on a grill, I was like, okay, I am making the right call here because these suckers, they got to go down. Like, I don't know how a woman would do it. Like, if they're fake, they kind of just like stand at attention the whole time. But when they're real, after a while, they're like deserters and they start heading south of the border and it looks like a sad face when you take off your bra. I mean, it's just not a good look. Although, whenever I eat Chipotle and I take out my boulder holder off, I can pretty much get a whole nother burrito in there. Don't judge me. Yes, I eat it. It's my body. Whatever. Okay. So, I'm just saying, ladies, go get tested. Though Breast Cancer Aware Month is October. We talk about it all the time. My cousins and I, we have a buddy system that we send out, you know, every once and again. Have you done your self-check? We are our sister's keepers, ladies and gentlemen. So don't be afraid. It's not as bad as you think. Not at all. Okay, I got all my leaves cut off, and I'm going to put these, where are my tongs? Put these into our water, and you're going to let them cook for about 20 minutes. They'll kind of turn themselves the more they cook. You'll notice they become like a dark green. Let's put some salt in the water there. They'll become a dark green, and they'll kind of turn themselves, but you want to watch them, so just in case they don't turn, you can turn them, because they're going to float. They're buoyant. 20 minutes. Okay, next up, we're going to work on our beurre blanc sauce, which is just another fancy word for butter sauce. Now, I know people are going to lose it. Oh my God, you're using butter. We're not going to eat the whole thing right now. We're just making this, and then you can use it the rest at the end of the week, maybe over some Brussels sprouts. I know people don't like them, but if you split the Brussels sprouts in half, boil them up, cook them down a little bit soft, and then toss it with the rest of your beurre blanc sauce, everybody in your house will have a new favorite vegetable, I promise. Okay. So we're going to start off here. I have 2 tablespoons of white wine vinegar. Then I have 2 tablespoons of white wine. And then 2 tablespoons of shallot nicely minced up. Okay? And you want that to be up nice and high because you're going to want it to reduce by a little bit more than half. And we will salt and pepper. Some salt and pepper. Okay, turn your heat up high and let that reduce. Okay, our vinegar and wine have reduced nicely, so we're going to take that off the heat, turn that down, and then one by one, I have my butter here cut up. It's about a tablespoon each, and you're going to incorporate your butter into your pan. Now, you want to do them one by one, because if you put it all in at one time, it's just all going to melt, and you're not going to be able to stir it and make it into a nice sauce. But you always want to keep your sauce at like the same temperature, so when one is going down, you add the other. Okay, so I have a little thing that I'd like to start with you now, and I want you to share yours with me. Instagram. I'm noticing people will post anything these days, between there and Facebook. It's starting to really get out of hand. Just because you can do it doesn't mean you can, or you should, I should say. So, welcome to You're Doing the Most, Please Don't Post. Okay. People on the toilet. I don't need to see that. Seriously. It's bad enough that you have your phone in there. I mean, most of us do. But you're sitting on the toilet and you're taking pictures. Remind me never to shake your hand or use your phone. And then one person had enough to do it at a construction site. And you can tell he was sitting down. And I'm like, oh my God, I'd rather have an abandoned dog looking me in my mouth than sit on a construction work porta potty. That's gross. Like, really? Too much. People with food. I'm a foodie. I love good pictures of food. But I don't want to see your Eggo waffle and burnt bacon and sausage on a styrofoam plate. That's not appetizing, okay? Seriously. Sometimes people just get way caught up. Then things in the bedroom. I'm not even going to get into it. I'll just leave it right there. I don't need to see. Okay. So if you have your own, You're Doing the Most, Please Don't Post, share it with me. On my Facebook page, you know, India Sweet, or on Instagram, India Sweet. Just tag me in it. I mean, people are just... Good Lord. It's like spandex comes in every size. Just because it does, doesn't mean you should wear it. Okay. We're going to finish stirring in our butter here for our beurre blanc sauce. All right. Our butter is blended in beautifully. Let's turn that down. Now, the thing about this is you want to make sure you serve it immediately. So, it looks like our artichokes are done. It's time for us to plate. Yeah. All right, it's time to plate. So, what we're going to do, we're going to take our tostadas, give your Greek salad one more little toss and coat, and then pour it right in the middle. Oh, So, okay. And for me, because I'm a feta fanatic, top it off, a little bit of extra. Then, for your artichokes, very important. When they're done, you want to squeeze them out like over the sink a little bit, then let them drain for a few minutes so all that water, you know, can drain out and it won't be, you know, mushy. Then we'll take a little bit of our beurre blanc sauce here for dipping. And ladies and gentlemen, it's time to eat. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me for this week's episode of Let's Cook, Let's Chat. It doesn't go unnoticed that you take 20 minutes out of your day to sit and watch this show. So thank you. I truly, truly appreciate it. But do me a favor, like I haven't asked you enough already. Subscribe to my channel. That way, whenever a new episode is up, you'll get an alarm. Ding, ding, ding. The new Let's Cook, Let's Chat is up. What is this crazy girl saying now? This week, we made artichokes with a beurre blanc dip and a Greek salad on tostadas. Two things about this meal are great. One, you don't need any forks. And two, it's all veggies. We didn't even cook any meat today. Think about it. Nope, didn't even miss it, did you? Nope. You know, I am a bacon-eating, hamburger-loving kind of girl, but every once in a while, it's nice to just eat clean and no meat for the day, especially because it's getting hotter outside and you know this waist has got to get a little bit smaller. But for these recipes and so much more, you know where to find me. On Facebook, India Sweet. On Instagram, India Sweet. And make sure you hashtag your stuff. Let's cook, let's chat. That way you can see all the goodies I cook in my kitchen on a regular basis. And I can see what you're cooking. Oh, and don't forget to tag me. If you see somebody that is doing the most, please don't post. Make sure you tag me in it too because I want to see it because I'm just like that. All right, also on Twitter at IndoSweetSports. Okay, so with these artichokes, I told you I was going to show you how to eat them. Don't think I forgot because I didn't. So simmer down now, simmer down. Okay, we're going to take one of the leaves off. And the more you go in, the meatier the leaves will get. Now you can see the little meat, that little thing right there. You dip that into your beurre blanc, which is just so creamy. Oh my gosh. And then you bite. Oh my gosh, that is absolutely delicious. And like I said, it's not a whole lot that's going to come off, but it is a nice snack that'll keep you busy while you're watching your favorite TV show or even a movie, and you don't have to feel guilty about it. This is some good eats. Okay, until next time, folks, always, always enjoy your food and make sure you eat well.